Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're replacing a noisy rear wheel bearing. We've got a brand new OEM one from Subaru to go in its place. I'll show you the part number for that and the process of doing the job from start to finish, including a few little tricks, how to get the wheel bearing out of a hub when it's stuck in there, the cleaning up process to make sure it all goes back together correctly, and the tools and torque specs used to get the job done from start to finish. So if you want to see that, stick around and check it out. Cheers guys. Okay, so first things first, I always like to clean the general area where you're working, and in this case the wheel as well, because I'll be taking it off. May as well make things a little nicer for yourself while you're working on the car. And I always like to crack the lug nuts while the car is on the ground. I don't use an impact wrench on my lug nuts because they're Mick lug nuts, and the tool that they come with is not designed to be used with an impact wrench. So I just use a breaker bar to break them loose, and then an impact wrench once they're already loose, just so I'm not putting too much pressure on that tool. I don't want to break it. I do have a spare one because they are known to be a bit of a weak unit. Anyway, jack the car up, get it sitting on a jack stand for safety. Guys, you never want to work under a car if it's just on a jack. Hydraulic jacks especially, they can fail. So it's always good to get a nice solid jack stand. So anyway, whiz those lug nuts off and get rid of that wheel for now. Okay, next up we're cracking open the King Chrome toolkit. This is an excellent little toolkit, had it for many years now, probably about 8 or 9 years, and it's really got me through just about everything I need. I've bought a few extra tools outside of it, but it's been excellent. And anyway, the top bolt there I've undone with a ring spanner just because it's a little hard to get the breaker bar in there. And this bottom bolt, you can see me just using my fingers to find where the bolt is and get this socket and breaker bar onto it. Now it's a lot easier to break free with a breaker bar, but I'm just removing these bolts to take the brake caliper off the knuckle. Once you've undone those two bolts, you can just tuck that caliper up out of the way. I found I could rest it on top of the upper control arm. And you see here, 14mm is the ring spanner that I used, and 14mm socket. And there I'm just releasing the dinted section of the axle nut, and a 32mm socket is what you'll need to undo one of those. And again, just using the breaker bar with that 32mm socket so we can get that undone. Now you can see here I'm putting a lot of force into it, and I've actually flipped it around so I can stand on it. These are very tough to get undone sometimes. I think this may have never been undone because it's the original wheel bearing, and I don't know why it would have been undone any other time. So anyway, over 200,000 kilometers, we cracked that nut and took it off. Now you see me, I forgot to undo the handbrake, or I forgot to release the handbrake I should say, and so I couldn't get that disc off, but now I've released that handbrake and you'll see the disc comes right off nice and easily. On to the next thing, I've got a 10mm socket here. This is for the ABS sensor that goes in the knuckle, and this reads the back of the bearing. It's got the ABS sensor there. So if you don't remove the CV axle first before removing the bearing, I think it's a really good idea to remove this sensor. That way it will be out of the way and not get knocked potentially when the CV is loose in the knuckle. Anyway, we've got these 4 bolts on the back of the hub that are holding the bearing in place. So it's a little bit hard to get this video angle here, but you can see there's the other 2. So 2 on each side. And again, that's a 14mm socket that I'm using for those. For the first 2, I could use just the socket by itself on the ratchet. And for the next ones, I had to use different extensions for each one. And for the last one, I actually used the impact wrench as I was using the longer extension, and it was going to be a little bit harder to get back there. So anyway, once I had that on there, I just zipped them all out and moved on from there. Alrighty, so it's time to pull out the big guns here. I've got this 4-pound king chrome hammer, and this comes in handy when you've got a job like this to get done. Now I'm just attacking this bearing quite carefully because I've still got the handbrake assembly in place, and I don't want to hit that, but I've decided to get around on the back side of the hub and put one of the bolts back in. So you can see here I've put it back in, but I've left a gap. I haven't tightened it down, so it's got room to move. And basically what I'm going to do is use a socket extension and a hammer to knock on that to try and push the hub out from the inside of the knuckle. And it worked quite well when I did it on the front bearing, and so I've decided to try and give it a go here again. Now I'm giving a good knock with the hammer, and you'll see it actually starts to move here. You can hear the audio change to a different pitch from the knocking. And anyway, I've put another bolt back in on the other side of the hub as well, and just trying to knock it further out with this extension. However, I'm having a little bit of trouble, so I've got this impact socket, and this worked really well. So I could give it a good hit and all the force would be going straight into the bolt. You can see it really moves it quite a bit with those few hits, because when I didn't have the socket on there, it was basically just slipping off every time I hit it and the force was getting dissipated. But with the impact socket on there, it was very direct, so it worked really well. And anyway, a few more hits and we got it out, and then we could get on to the next stage. Next up, we're doing a bit of wire wheeling, cleaning up the inside of the knuckle, getting it ready for the new hub. Basically, you want to get rid of all this rust and grime that's built up over the years so that the install goes nice and smoothly, and it also makes things stay cleaner for longer if you get rid of any build-up and grime there. And cleaning up the surface there so everything sits nice and flush when it's bolted down, and giving these splines a bit of a go over as well, as they were quite sticky getting out of the old hub. But clean them up so everything goes in nice and smooth. Using a bit of WD-40 here to help break down the rust and the seized bearing. It's all stuck inside this little handbrake assembly. Just spraying that on to let it soak for a little while and loosen up. So that's the part number right there for my vehicle. Obviously you want to check and get the correct part number for your car. And if you are looking for a place to find part numbers, a really great website is Partsook or Partsec. Not really sure exactly how to pronounce that, but it's really good. You can look up part numbers with your VIN number. So you just go to the website, put your VIN number in, and you'll be able to get all the part numbers for your vehicle. So very handy. Anyway, this is the brand new hub bearing, and it's beautiful, nice and shiny, clean, and very quiet and smooth. Alright, so now we're just trying to remove this hub assembly, wheel bearing, whatever you want to call it, from this handbrake setup. And basically it's holding on for its dear life. It's been sitting there for a long time. It's a bit corroded and rusted in. I know some people that live in the rust belts have a far worse time than this getting it out. But even now, it's not really wanting to budge, so I thought I'd let it soak for a little bit more. And my thought process here was I wanted to protect the handbrake assembly, so I just wanted to hit the bearing from behind and not the handbrake assembly. Anyway, it worked quite well in the end. So that's a pretty obvious comparison there. The new one's smooth, nice and quiet. The old one's a bit rough and worn out. And what we're doing here is cleaning up the surface of the inside of the disc. The disc sits on the hub, and you want it to be all smooth and clean so that it runs true. If there's any debris or built up rust, it can make the disc wobble or shudder a little bit, and you don't want that. You want everything to be running true, so keep it nice and clean and you won't have any of those dramas. And the same with this handbrake assembly, the bearing's sitting in that, so you want every surface to be fresh and clean. So a bit of WD-40, bit of Y wheel, and wiping it all down should be prepping it ready to be reassembled without any issues. And another thing is, guys, I recommend only using OEM bearings. I've heard lots of horror stories of aftermarket bearings lasting very few kilometers. This previous one has done, 220,000 kilometers, so I assume this one will do just as many or thereabouts. Okay, so juggling all of these things together, trying to get them all to align and get back into where they're meant to be is a little bit tricky, but don't forget this handbrake cable. I almost did. You've got to hook it back into its little holder back there so it doesn't rub on the tire. That can cause all sorts of problems, so you don't want that. But anyway, once you've got the hub and the handbrake assembly lined up, if you slide that over the CV splines and then trying to keep those all aligned together and then into the knuckle, it's not too hard, but it's a little bit tricky, so just take your time. And then once you've got it lined up, just pop a bolt in the back, get it sort of settled in there, and then you can sort of proceed from there. Okay, so once you have all these bolts snugged down by hand, I really recommend using a torque wrench. This is the one I use. It's Kinchrome 1/2 inch 40 to 200 Newton meter torque wrench, and it's been fantastic. Had it for quite a while now. Use it for all my important components that need tightening down, like brakes, wheels, hubs, axle nuts, all those sorts of things are really important to torque to spec. And you really need to look up the exact vehicle that you have. It does vary quite a bit. Even with this vehicle, it varies. Some of the specs that you got to tighten them down to from front to rear is different as well, especially the axle nut. That one's quite different. But yeah, anyway, look up the exact specs that you need for your vehicle. And I'm actually wondering if I can get a workshop manual for my vehicle from Subaru, so I might look into that. But the internet has provided everything I've needed to know so far. But it would be nice to have one of those if it's available. Let me know if you know where you can buy a workshop manual for these cars. With this ABS sensor, a good little trick that I like to do is put the bolt back in its home while you've got the sensor out, so you know exactly where the bolt is when you go to install it again. Now, it's only a little 10mm bolt, so don't over tighten it. I didn't bother looking up the torque specs of it, but it's just a little one, so snug it up by hand. And once you've done that, you're basically ready to start reassembling the brakes. So we've got the disc there. You can see the nice clean surface that I Y-wheeled earlier, and that's going on to the brand new hub, so the surfaces will come together very nicely. No run out. It'll be nice and true when it's spinning around, which will make sure that you don't get any shudder or wobbling in the brakes, which is always a nice thing. Now, with this caliper going back on, I've got brand new brake pads in there. You can see the disc has been machined as well. So because the brakes are brand new with big, thick pads, it's a little bit tricky to get back on, but yeah, just work that on nice and carefully, and then yeah, bolt it up, and once again, snug it down by hand, and then get a torque wrench onto it if you can. With the brakes all dialed in, it's time to put the axle nut on now. So just chucking it on by hand, and what I'm going to do is engage the handbrake nice and firmly so I can torque it up to spec without the hub spinning. Now again, with the torque, it is different from front to rear and different from vehicle to vehicle, so make sure you look up those exact specs for your vehicle. And with this one, it is 190 Newton meters, so I'm setting the torque wrench to that. Now, I'm just going to snug it up quickly here with the impact wrench, just on a low setting. It's only at a 100 Newton meter setting. So just snug it up softly, and then, yeah, use the torque wrench to dial it in exactly to spec. So I always like to get it to click once, and then reset. and get it to click once more just to double check it. Once you've got that dialed down to spec, there's a little dent on the end of the CV where you can stamp the axle nut into place so it can't undo itself. Now, a screwdriver's not the ideal tool for it, but a large one so it spreads out the load on the area that you're stamping is not too bad. It kind of works. Alrighty, so I'll just go over everything I've tightened down to spec. I've got the caliper bolts tightened down to spec. Just going over everything I've done so I don't forget anything. I've got the ABS sensor bolted in, and I've got this done down to spec. And now I've just got to put the wheel on, and then we're done. Alrighty guys, so that pretty much wraps this job up. All I've got to do now is lower the vehicle down off the jack stand and tighten up the lug nuts to spec, and then we're home. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it. It really helps the video get exposed to more people, and that'll help the channel grow. If you want to see more videos like this, I've also done a front wheel bearing and a whole lot of other maintenance and upgrade videos of different things I've done to the vehicle. I also do off-roading videos, camping videos, that sort of thing too. So if you want to see more of that, then check out the channel and consider subscribing. That really helps the channel grow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for checking the video out. Until next time, cheers guys. Alrighty, so my other camera just died. We got the wheel nuts done up to spec, and that's a wrap. That's a job done. So here's the old unit, crusty as, a bit rough around the edges, and brand new ones in there. So job done, good to go.
Perfect.